So welcome back. Now I want to talk about personal time wasters. And one of my favorite activities that you're going to be doing is really looking at your personal life chart. We have 168 hours in a week, and I've been so entertained. For example, I had clients that tell me, I just don't have time. I don't have time. Within my business, between my family, I just don't have any time whatsoever. And I say, okay, let's sit down and look about how many hours do you dedicate, for example, in your job or in your business. And they break down those hours. And then I break down the hours. How many time do you spend maybe watching TV, eating food, going to the bathroom, getting yourself ready to go to work, or transportation? How much time does transportation take? Social media, entertainment, socialization, and I go on and on. And we break it down into everything. And sometimes after doing all that, people look at me and say, wow, I still have 30 hours. And obviously they've calculated how much time they sleep. And sometimes they come back and say, wow, I have a lot more hours than I expected, And then they're like, so where did my time go, really? And when they look at it, even if they take away all that time of going out and doing all those things, they might find that they have a lot of time that they're wasting, and that actually empowers them to realize that there's other things that they're doing that they need to cut out that's actually wasting their time. Sometimes people tell me, they look at it and they say, well, I don't know, I have more time. I have 180 hours. How can that be when I only have 168 hours? Well, two things can happen there. They're either not being fully honest with how they're spending their time, or they're overcommitting. And that's something to reflect on too. So it's something to be real about and honest to yourself. Am I, one, overcommitting or not being honest to myself or where my time goes? And two, do I have more time and I'm just not using it effectively? So the next part, once you know your personal time frame, how you work in your own life, is eliminating useless activities. For example, I had a client that said, I spent a lot of time complaining. And I said, well, because they said interacting with people. And I said, what kind of interactions do you have? And they said, well, most of the time I spend it complaining. And part of it is because I called them out on it, because every time that, they would come to me, the first thing that they wanted to do was complain about their life. And one of the things that they told me was, well, if I stop spending that time with friends interacting, talking about the problems that I have or how I do not have enough time, then how else am I going to connect with them? So one thing is to keep in mind that some of our time wasters is because we've built an identity and connection to them of how we connect to other people. So sometimes we have to pull ourselves back and say, is this really what I want to do in my spare time? Do I want to spend my spare time complaining about things, or do I want to spend my spare time doing what I want to do instead of complaining I don't have time to do what it is that I want to do? Remember, time adds up, whether it's checking your Facebook or doing other things that every minute, every 5 minutes, or doing all the things that you might not really have to do, like checking the news all the time, whatever it is, those are time wasters that are not really fulfilling. And let's face it, they're addicting. There's been a lot of research studies on social media and how addicting it really is. So one thing that I recommend, if you want to look at your personal time wasters, is to go on a low info diet. And this is something I've done, and I still do, and I try to do consistently, that maybe once a month, or I have like a day or 2 or 3 sometimes that I do very low info diet. So what I mean with that is that I have time that I eliminate TV, social media, and everything else that's distracting, and web surfing, irrelevant web surfing. Obviously, if you need to do it for your business, then do that. If you need to do social media for your business, then do that. But things that are just a waste of time, cut them out. And if you go on a 5-day diet, for example, one of the things that you'll find is that you have so much extra time in your life. And then you can decide how you want to allocate the new time. Do I want to go back after 5 days? In the first couple of days, it might be excruciating because you want to jump on social media. You want to check the news, or you want to do this, or you want to just browse the web like for no reason. But what will happen is that once you get a couple of days, it's just like a regular diet. Once you do it consistently for a couple of days, you'll find that you don't need it. You'll find that you actually like having that extra time to be in nature, to be with your family, be with your friends, or to go do something new. So do that. Try a 5-day low info diet just to see how much it will change your life. And everybody that I've worked with that has done this has been revolutionary for their life. Another aspect, another tip is practice not finishing what you're doing. And you might say, wow, why would I practice not finishing something? Well, what I mean with that is that if you start a movie and the movie stinks, then stop watching it. Why are you going to waste the extra hour and a half of your life if you already lost the 20 minutes of your life to that movie? Or if you have a conversation of people that always want to talk about the same thing over and over again because they like the drama in their life, learn how to cut that conversation in the middle. Or I really can't talk right now. I do apologize. I have many things I got to get to. I do apologize, and I'm sorry that you're going through that. Or whatever it is that you want to say or do, cut that out. Cut that conversation, because one thing you don't want to do is you don't want people or situations or even the web or other things to take away and waste your precious time. This is your precious time. So spend it the way you want to spend it. So cut those things. Finish those things that you don't want to finish. What I mean is cut them out. Or it can be an article that you're reading. You start reading it, it caught your attention, and like a paragraph in it, you realize that you don't want to read it, but you finish reading it. Or a book, you start a book and you're like a quarter into it, and then you don't feel like you want to finish it, but you finish it because you feel like you're committed to it. Cut the commitment. Stop it. If it's not working, then stop doing it. Stop that conversation, stop the movie, stop the article, stop the book, because it's a waste of your time. And if it's not fulfilling you, then do something that's going to fulfill you. Again, the best thing you can do in your life is look at your personal time wasters and then look at how you can rearrange that. So do the activity, see where you spend your hours, and then decide what you truly want to focus on in your personal time. Thank you.